Okay, hello everybody. Hello. We are here in Jacksonville. We are just chilling in the hotel before we head on over to the arena. So we're just chilling out for a little bit, figure out hop on here and chat it up with folks. Busy sports day here in Miami. We have the Marlins, the Panthers, the Heat, the Pinks, all in action. Plus we got Masvidal versus Usman later on tonight. So it is a packed day. I'm curious to see how much I can actually follow a lot of it because I'm going to be at the arena. And so, although I got, the one I'll probably focus on most is the Heat. I think everything's kind of spaced out. Maybe I'll throw the Panthers on another screen. I don't know what. I don't think I'll be able to get the. I don't know if the Pinks will make my list for today. So we'll see. Maybe by the end of it, I'll want to turn the heat off anyway, the way that it's been going lately for them, to be honest with you. But I'm looking forward to tonight, heading on over to the arena. Looks like they got a cool little venue. Never been to that ViStar arena before. It's pretty nice. I had no idea that Jacksonville had arena teams and semi-pro basketball. I had no idea. I was like, this is a really nice arena. It's a really nice arena for Jacksonville. Jacksonville has like a nice little sports complex. As far as like they got the football stadium, they got the training facility, and then they go over to then they got the baseball for the jumbo shrimp. But trying to get myself a jumbo shrimp hat. I don't know how that's going about. But and then they got the basketball / whatever arena. So it's a nice little setup down here downtown. And I've been enjoying the time in Jacksonville. It's very small townish, especially a lot of places where you go to eat. It feels like very small town USA. Kind of reminds me of like being in an upstate New York in some ways when I would be there when I was a kid for summers. So yeah, let's. If you guys got questions or comments, you guys can hit me up in the chat. I'll be happy to ask you and answer whatever questions you want. Top Dog hits us up with can Bam and Deadman play together? I think theoretically they could, but I think the big problem with that is one, Deadman's kind of just coming off the street, and I don't know what kind of shape he's in to play starters minutes. But he has shown a propensity to spread the floor in the past. But I think they really just want somebody there to spell Bam. And, I found last night, I know rebounding has been an issue in some years. I didn't find last night to be a size issue for the Heat. I found it to be more of a hustle kind of thing, just like it felt like a lot of balls were going to weird spots. And it's not like there were other games where like the teams in West, like you definitely could say, oh, they got bodied up and they got out muscled. I felt like last night wasn't out muscled. I feel like they got out hustled yesterday. They got ran off the floor. So there's that. Raj, why are you in Jacksonville? I'm here for UFC 261. Jorge Masvidal versus Kamaru Usman. Rose Namajunas against Zhang Weili. And Jessica Andrade is fighting Valentina Shevchenko. So I am here in Jacksonville. I did the show here on Friday from this hotel room, and I'm here to catch the fights. Because when do we ever get? We never get title fights in Florida, and it's a 4-hour drive. And as soon as it was booked, I caught my wife on a good week, and I was like, "Hey, I want to go to Jacksonville for the fights." Thankfully, I just kind of ventured through a family vacation and really balled out on that. So I caught her on a good day. I'm just like, hey, I'm going to book this to Jacksonville. It was our last day of the trip there, and ended up booking the trip. So there's that. Any Maxwell House coffee? I've not had it, David. I did not have Maxwell, but I did pass it. And it's pungent. You can smell the coffee in downtown. You definitely can. Bones got Miami winning tonight, 107-98. They better win. I got Knicks and Raptors up in here. I'm watching in the hotel room as I'm hanging. So do you think that the Heat make it out of the play-in tournament? I think they do. I'm not really worried about the play-in tournament. Honestly, the thing that sucks about the play-in tournament is you got to keep playing. It's like you don't get that rest that the non-teams are. So I'm not so much worried about the play-in tournament as just, man, it'd be nice if you could get the guys some rest, especially going into the playoffs. But, you know, they don't deserve, anything right now. They're in this spot. And I think you actually saw a little bit of that frustration kind of boil out of Spo last night for the first time and Jimmy, where there's a frustration of, they're kind of done with the talk. And I know a lot of fans have been saying that game after game after game, and they've tried to keep a level head. We saw some of that with Jimmy after the Minnesota loss. That was more anger. This was more, I don't want to use the term acceptance, but I feel like it was more of it is what it is right now. Spo was a little bit more angry yesterday. So there's that. Do you think that Victor Oladipo will have an impact if and when he returns? I absolutely do think he is. I greatly undersold what Victor Oladipo was going to bring to this team. And I think that he brings a lot. I think he helps stagger some minutes. I think that he, helps loosen up the offense at certain times. The only thing that I would say that needs to change when Victor comes back is they got to find a way to keep playing Kendrick. So whether that becomes it's a coin flip night, Kendrick and Tyler and Goran, like it can't just be, set in the roles of, hey, it's Goran or Tyler's. They've been too inconsistent. Kendrick's played so well that I feel like he's earned it. So when Oladipo comes back, instead of him just going into the shadows, like I feel like he needs to go. Do you think the Heat needs to rest Dragic until the playoffs? No, I think they're doing that tonight. Like he's not really hurt. Like he's getting a rest night tonight. Like you saw, there's some nights where he started actually looking, I think, some of his best games in the season. And then there's nights where he looks ragged, but I think that's just I think that's the schedule catching up with him. If the Heat get into the playoffs, that won't be as big of an issue. But obviously, with them having this play-in scenario, not too great. Father Time caught up to Goran. Let's face it. I don't know, man. Like Goran's had these for a while. These clunkers or times where he just looks old, and then he has times where he looks spectacular. Goran's at that point right now where I don't distrust Goran. I'm always going to trust that Goran Dragic will show up. But I think the thing with Goran is I feel like you can always tell. You can always tell when it's going to be a rough night for him. Let's see. I think Jorge needs to get Kamaru early. JC says the later it gets, it's worse. I agree. I think that if Masvidal wins, and I am picking him to win, that he has to get him in the first or second round. I think if it goes past that, I think that he loses a little snappy snap on the punches. We saw that with the Nate Diaz fight, and just that naturally just happens, and especially a guy like Kamaru who can wear on you. So that's I agree with your assessment on that. Robin Hollywood says Gamebread brings it home in the third tonight. The first fight, 6 days notice, time for the home team. Hard work pays off after 8 years plus. Stay safe, bro. Thanks for we will stay safe. And I think honestly think that the 6 day thing, I think for both of them honestly made for not that great a fight. So I honestly could actually picture a more confident Kamaru Usman being a little bit more froggy with his striking, especially the way the last fight went with Gilbert. But I think that would probably be to his detriment. But with Masvidal, I felt like the last fight he fought way too safe, and it was very reminiscent of pre-2019 Masvidal. I think you're going to see a really aggressive fight. Now, he looks in really good shape too. I mean, Kamaru always looks in great shape, but Masvidal, like you saw him on the scales, like he looks in next level shape compared to what he looked like the last fight. He looks fantastic. Are you interested in Nick Diaz return? Yes, I'm interested in Nick Diaz return. He is here. I saw him yesterday at the weigh-ins. I don't think I'm breaking news there. I think people have broke that he's been hanging out over Jacksonville, but I saw him yesterday, and actually as the cameras caught him, he kind of scurried backstage. I kind of feel like he's here to fight the winner. Like, I don't really know what else makes sense or why else he would be here. So I kind of feel like Nate Diaz is going to get to fight either Kamaru or Jorge, because they both make sense. Jorge fought Nate. That's kind of when Nick came out to the interview with Ariel Helwani. And then for Kamaru, like, you can't really hate on Kamaru getting a chance to fight him because Colby is been inactive, hasn't really fought anybody. Leon Edwards had the eye poke thing and is going to do another fight, and he's beaten both of those guys. So if somebody deserves kind of a super fight, if you will, or a high profile DS fight, Kamaru certainly deserves that too. So I got to feel like the surprise is definitely that he's fighting the winner. No doubt. Nick Diaz would be a good fight against Connor. Yeah, I can see that too. Should there be any concern at the Marlins? Should there be any concern for the Marlins, considering there's no... Are you saying that there should be concern that the Marlins can win? The only thing right now that's concerning with the Marlins, I would say, is the health. I mean, the health is really bothersome. I mean, losing Marte with a rough injury, losing Anderson for a little bit. So you're just relying... Alfaro... I mean, I think we could take or leave, but he was starting to look a little bit better. Then you start thinking about one of your best offensive players as a 23-year-old rookie, and it just becomes concerning from that standpoint. I didn't get to see all of the game yesterday. I was caught up in editing stuff and whatnot, so I'm a little bit out of the loop. I did see the Bunny game, which was one of the most boring games ever, but hopefully they can get things right tonight and pick one up. Let's see. Do you think that Rose can hang with the champ? Yeah, I think that's going to be fight of the night tonight. I think that's going to be an amazing fight. She's what you don't realize with Rose is she's a lot, perspective wise, she's a lot bigger than she looks for that weight class in person. Like, you kind of think of her as like this, small person because I think of the shaved head and she's so skinny, but she's really lanky and she's really she's just got some great striking. So, and so does Wei Lee. So I think that she definitely can hang with that. I think that's going to be fight of the night tonight. Like, I'm not going to be surprised either way that one goes. I'll be surprised if Valentina loses. I'll be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised if Usman wins. I'm just picking Masvidal. I'm just feeling a little froggy. I feel like if you pick Usman by decision, you're like, all right, well, thank you, But and I also genuinely think, like, if George is going to win this fight, he has to do it in the first couple rounds. Did you see her nose at the way? Yeah, I did. It looked strange. Let's see. Seen a lot of Heat fans saying we're not making that far in the playoffs. No, it seems like you've seen a lot of Heat fans with no guts. It has felt, the whole season has felt, though, like they have, I don't want to say it's been a fat cat syndrome season, because I don't feel like it's been that, but this has been a regular season that you're just like, man, I can't wait for this regular season to be over for Miami, because there hasn't been, outside of like maybe the one first Jim VP run, the buzzer beater from Bam. It's been a pretty frustrating year. And I think overall, for the regular season, this regular season in the NBA has kind of sucked, because it just feels like the number one story has been injuries. And now it's like hell, because the next story is the Knicks being good, which just, I mean, that is what I would, if I went to hell, that's what hell would be. Just screaming Knicks fans all around. So there's that. Henry, talk about Xander Zayas. My guy's fighting tonight. He's on ESPN Plus. If you guys aren't UFC fans, you're on boxing fans, go check out Xander. He's fighting tonight. He's looking to go to 8-0. Crazy that the 17-year-old kid who I spoke with a couple of years ago is really becoming one of the bright young stars in boxing. I don't know how the hell he's going to stay at welterweight his entire career, because he is he's enormous, but he's scary for 147 of that. What do we got right now? New York's up. New York's kicking the Raptors' ass. They're on their way to a win. That means going to be more annoying Knicks fans videos. Let's see. Simon, thanks for putting this up on YouTube. How can we support to keep this going on the reg? You mean the chat? I'm gonna do it, man. I really, it's like the next thing I've been trying to do is do interactive chats with you guys. I want to set a time, and I want to set like a date to do it. I want to do, when I do something and I do some type of a show or do something on the reg, I like to keep it continually going on the reg. I'm sure during the Heat playoffs, I'm going to do a bunch of post game stuff, just chatting with you guys, because I know everybody who kind of does these post game shows, they're all interacting with each other. I do that already. I do that with Leroy and I do that with Robbie. I like getting a chance to chat with you guys. Whatever you want to talk about. So it could be Dolphins, it can be Pinks, it could be Panthers, it could be. By the way, speaking of the Panthers, this damn Zaslow yesterday, left me out to dry where he's like, oh, Drieger's hurt, because I went on his show to do a hit and we did big game, not a big game. And so I didn't even know we were doing it. We were cutting it off the whim. And I was like, Drieger Beaverback. He goes, no, Drieger, he's not a goal tonight. He's hurt. Could be Spencer McKnight. And I looked at it, Drieger's playing. Like, I thought he was the Panthers guy. So anyway, Simon, thank you, man. I'm going to try and get it to go. Let's see. Henry, are you going to Tiafimo's fight in June? Would that be considered the biggest boxing match ever in South Florida? Well, no. I mean, I would say that Cassius Clay beating Sonny Liston will be a hard one to ever top. But in recent memory, Henry, I would say, yeah. I would say it's the biggest. The thing is, I don't know if fans are going to be able to go because I heard Peter Kahn, who I haven't chatted with about this personally, but I heard him on, I think, Max's podcast, and I think it's going to be close to the fans. I think they're just doing it in Miami to have the scene and all that, but I don't know if people are going to go, which seems kind of stupid. Like, I would feel like if you're going to do it in Miami, like, the whole point is we're open, let's have the fight. So there's that. Let's see. Tobin, for both pick number 6 and 18, what is your honest opinion? And what would be the proper compensation for each pick separately? I'm not good with that type of stuff, Anthony. Like what they should get in a trade. That stuff kind of makes my head spin, to be honest with you, man. We talked about this yesterday on the show. Like, there's not a lot that's gonna happen in this draft that's gonna make me nutty. One, I think that the GM and the coach have earned a little bit of respect from the fan base. So I'm going to be okay with what they do for the most part with everything. I'm not that into taking Penei Sewell, although I could talk myself into it. But that's the one that's like, nah, I want some weapons. Like, I want some... I want Slim Reaper. I want Jamar Chase. I want Kyle Pitts. I'm happy with any of those three. I'd even be fine with Waddle, but I want some fun stuff. And then I would want 18. I'm cool with them taking Najee Harris. He looks like an absolute monster. But I get the whole not taking a running back thing. I hope then they end up with ATN or Javonte Williams or somebody like I want them to come out of this. I'm a little intrigued by the wild card of them maybe taking Micah Parsons, because they, I think the pass rush is a little bit of a concern. It's a little bit underrated of a concern because I think everybody's just so focused on the offense. And if you really thought about what, if they could get the best defender in the draft at 6, because I think 18 is probably a stretch for him, especially if you lose Chase and Pitts. I think that would be a pretty savvy move by them. Do you watch Champions League soccer? I do not. I'm trying to get into soccer. I'm trying to get into soccer locally. I'm trying to get into the Pinks, but I've had this whole little thing that's going on with my, with trying to get the Pinks. I live in Palm Beach County on the reg, so it's tough getting Pinks games on local TV. So yeah. Let's see. If we play the Nets in the first round, I don't think we should be the ones who should be scared. I'm not scared of the Nets, especially this version of the Nets. Like, they just seem like very wounded. I almost also think there's something with this Heat team this year. Like the better the team, I feel like the better that's brought out of them. It's been the Wolves games, shorthanded Hawks, shorthanded Clippers, all these like annoying losses that just stack up. Very reminiscent of the year where Chris Middleton sent us out of the playoffs and killed us on a tiebreaker. That's the kind of frustration that we've been dealing with this year with this Heat team. So, though I think the Nets should probably be favored, I do agree that I think that if the Heat are playing at their best, I think that they could definitely give them that work. I want Spo to unleash Bam threes, doing the same thing he did with Wade. I mean, yeah, but the thing is that Bam just got to the point where he's shooting middies. Like, we can't also go to the point of, hey, we also want him to start unleashing threes. Like, I think give him he's 23 years old. Like, give him the chance to move on to the next part of his evolution. Chris Bosh didn't start shooting threes until he got here, until his second year. So I don't think it's Spo holding him back or anything like that. I think it's just, it's the slow growth. It's having the confidence. We saw dribbles of the little drips of the midi last year. Then it kind of got doing to what it is this year, where it's a go-to maneuver for him. Same thing will happen, I think, with the threes. He does have a pretty shot though. Like, he does. Absolutely does. But I thought, I know Bam takes a lot of the. I thought that they both deserved it. I thought that Jimmy and Bam, they both, all the stuff that Bam takes for the be more aggressive thing. I think Jimmy, unfortunately, I think echoes a lot of that stuff too. Like, they do have just two naturally unselfish stars that are pass first, defense first. We're never for offense first guys. And I do think that Jimmy's got the maturity to know when to put his head down and go to the rack at times, but how many games do you watch with the Heat where Jimmy's coming out guns blazing? Like, normally it's, I'm going to wait the first 7 minutes before I take my first shot. It's just, that's just how they roll, man. What's doing over here? 8 minutes left. Knicks are up 12. See what else we got here. Play the Precious song. I don't have it on me. Will Macho Marlins man go to a game this season? For sure. That's definitely going to happen. I would say when things quiet down. There's one that I think Macho has circled on the calendar. I would look towards Kevin Millar bobblehead day as the one he's going to try and go. I loved having Kevin Millar on the show. He was fun. Let's see. With the amount of room the Heat have opened up, do you see us trading for a big guy like Lillard or Beal? I think that the Heat need something to for that to happen. They need one of those guys to say, I want to go and I want to go to Miami. Like, I don't think Lillard's leaving Portland. I do think he's real when he says he wants to stick things out there. But if he did, you hope that Portland does the right thing by him and says, okay, do you want Damian Lillard? The thing with that is, though, if you're going to trade Damian Lillard, like, what do the Heat have that they want right now? Because I think Tyler was a blue chip piece, and now I don't think he is. I think that's definitely taking a step back. You don't have this draft capital. It'll feel a little bit better next year once the draft is over and you can open up some trades of what you can go deal to people. But I think for Beal, it's the same deal. Like, because he's got that contract that I think he can opt out of. Like, you're gonna need him to say that he wants to go to Miami, and I think Beal definitely wants to be part of a team that he could be that final piece for, or be a team that can put him over the top. I've heard some buzz like in the national guys of saying, like, what the Warriors could offer. Could they offer like a Wiseman and they have a Minnesota pick? And that would be tough to top if you're Miami. Even if Wiseman isn't necessarily as good as what Tyler has been at his peak so far as a young player, they still have the potential of, oh, well, he was this pick and, what he can be and modern day big and all that type of stuff. So That's tough right now. How will you feel if the Dolphins draft Pitts at number 6? I would feel fantastic if they picked Pitts at number 6. The guy I actually want numero uno is Chase. I love Chase. I'm a big fan. I got sold on him because we were having these debates left and right about him, and just kind of watching some of his stuff. I love the guy. I think he's numero uno for me. But I genuinely will. I'm genuinely going to be thrilled with any of those 3 guys that they get if they get a weapon for Tua. That's with Pitts, Chase, or with Devontae. Devontae, the people are crapping on Slim Reaper way too much. And Controller says, wow, no love for Sewell. Yeah, I said that earlier. So, that Sewell's the only guy. I'm really just not that into drafting a lineman. First of all, they took 3 linemen last year. So I thought the whole point was getting these guys to grow together. I'll get it if they draft Sewell. Okay, fine. But it's just not going to do. You better go get me something fun at 18 if that's the case. So that's where I'm at. Join late. Who do you got win the Masvidal fight? I have Masvidal winning by my official pick was 2nd round TKO. I don't think that I think if it goes late, I will be very surprised. I'm very surprised by 2 things. I'll be very surprised if Jorge wins a decision. I'll be very surprised if Kamaru Usman stops Jorge Masvidal. If Usman wins by decision, that's probably likely. And if Masvidal is going to win, it feels like he's got to win by stopping the guy. So yeah. Is it true that West Palm Beach has a lot of white people? No, West Palm Beach is pretty diverse. It depends on what part of West Palm Beach you're in. Like there's West Palm Beach and then there's Palm Beach. Like Palm Beach is full of the white people. West Palm Beach is pretty diverse. All of Palm Beach County is just like Broward. It's very diverse. But then you get to a certain part of like Palm Beach, Jupiter, all that. Then it's very Wilson country. So there's that. Anthony asks, can you read my comment from before? Let's see. Do you agree with this? I see a sweeping teams like the Nets and Bucks with the championship experience in the bubble from the past few seasons. I don't think we're going to sweep them, but I could see the Bucks. Like, I'm definitely going to go into that series overly cocky against the Bucks, which I think the Heat have the right to be. The Nets are a bit of a wild card. I think it depends on the health. I think if you told me that the Heat have to take on a healthy Kevin Durant, a healthy James Harden, and a healthy Kyrie Irving, I think that's a legitimately tough series. I think I could see that one, being longer. But I mean, damn, bro. Like, at what point do there's certain things, like, remember the Clippers last year? Like, there were all these signs that they were going to struggle and that they were going to do this and that, and then they got to the bubble in the playoffs and they pooped the bed, or just things didn't go the way they planned. And I think, unfortunately for the Heat, they've had a lot of that too. Like, we've been kicking the can on a lot of our worry, or at least I have, admittedly. And I still have this faith that once they get to the playoffs, they can right the ship a little bit. But I don't look at the Heat's problems as physical health problems. I guess outside of Oladipo, I guess that would be fair. But we haven't even had Oladipo yet. These guys, their whole plan was having these 3 guys lead them. And, KD can't stay healthy, and James Harden, his injury's getting aggravated. So that's that. Drew Holiday 100 times better than Eric Bledsoe, so not the same Bucks. That's true, Risa, but I don't find a guy like Drew Holiday to be a guy where it's going to be like, I just don't feel like he's the type of guy where it's going to make the vast difference. Like, if you told me their go-to guy was a monster big who can also score that we wouldn't have another matchup for, then, I'd be a little bit more worried about that. So there's that. This is a good question. How is the Twitch experiment going with you guys? Does Odyssey see the benefit for the rest of the shows? I don't know about the rest of the shows, but I will tell you guys, in all honesty, I actually just got a call about this a couple days ago. Since we have gone to Twitch, our numbers, which on Twitch I haven't found to be that fantastic, especially compared to what our YouTube numbers are. Just the clips we put up. But I also realize that people are watching. It's 4 hours of content, so I got to take that with a grain of salt. But I think just people peeking in and then flipping over to the app to listen to us, the numbers have really, really, really gone up, which I've been really pleased with. So yeah, the move to Twitch has been awesome. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. If I'm honest, last year's Heat team was better than now. Well, I don't think you're wrong. I don't know. Did you see how Usman finished Burns? I did see that. And he was great in that. Look, Usman is, I don't know if anybody's going to be ever able to touch the welterweight legacy of George St. Pierre. But Usman's great. He is great. I think I honestly don't know if there's I'm looking in that division, and you legitimately have to have knockout power to beat Usman, I feel like. I think that Kobe's an okay striker. Leon's a good striker, not really a knock you dead guy, and he's also lost to Usman. Gilbert's not really a knock you dead guy. Like, George can put your lights out, and that's what he brings to the table, and that's what he's gonna have to do if he wins. Like Burns is finished guys, but that's not really his calling card. So that's kind of where I'm putting the faith in Masvidal getting it done. What roster would you personally make first? The Marlins, the Heat, or the Dolphins roster? I would have to go Heat, Dolphins, then Marlins. And I'm only basing that. Well, that's a good question. If you're talking about probably most good players, I would probably say the Dolphins. From the standpoint of they look like they're set up to have the most consistency, maybe a couple tweaks away. But I don't necessarily think the Dolphins have any stars outside of Xavier Howard. Maybe they'll have some stars. Maybe Tua will be a star. But I think currently they have a lot of good players. They don't have, I think, mainstream stars other than Xavier. Then but the Heat have two legit stars. I feel like Bam and Jimmy, I think, are legit stars. One guy is they've both been all-stars. They're both defensive player of the year candidates. Jimmy at one point was an MVP candidate. I think if his team had a better record, he'd probably get more respect in that regard as well. He's having one of his best individual seasons. So, and then the Marlins, I don't think the Marlins have any stars right now. I think Jazz can be a star. Sandy can be a star. Pablo can be a star. But for the most part, they're still unproven. So I think I'm going to go Heat because they got two stars, then Dolphins, then Marlins. But that's how I would go. National guy on 7-9 today said that the Dolphins are front runners in the East to go to the Super Bowl. Got to see what they do in the draft. I got to see with what they do in the draft. And the one thing I'm worried about with the Dolphins defense, I have faith in Coach Flo, but man, that was such an unbelievable year from Xavier with turning the ball over. And I'm kind of just spitballing this because I'd like to know what they did with actually his turnovers from a scoring standpoint. But that's just even still just the way to just swing a game and him ending drives like that just is such a tremendous talent. I don't know if he could do that again. Chad says none has been the most consistent player all year. I mean, you're saying outside of Jimmy and Bam, I assume. Yeah, I could probably. I mean, probably. Probably. But Duncan's been really it's unfortunate Duncan pooped the bed on those 2 big shots last night because he's been lights out since the All-Star break. Let's see. Arson. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not happy with the Heat right now. Seems like every loss this season is a bad loss. Never like we fought hard, played good, but just play a bit better. Yeah, I get that frustration, man. Like they have not been playing and they feel like they all just go the same way, where it's like great first quarter, let a team back in. Third quarter feels like it flips every Heat game. Like it's either they're going to go like in this winning streak, they blow teams out, or the other team just kind of puts it on them. I think Nick's just got the dagger. So yeah, I get that frustration for sure. Let's see. Possible that Oladipo comes back for the last 5 games of the year. Dude, I have no idea. I don't know what's up with Oladipo. I don't know. I know that he told he told Andy Slater that he was coming back, and that the word was that it was just a soreness issue. I hope so. I hope he comes back. I'm curious too if he doesn't come back. I'm curious to see what that means for Miami investing in him. Like what does that mean for the Heat wanting to give him whatever X deal is? Because, I get it. I'm not calling Oladipo out. So if he doesn't want to come back, it's not like I'm calling Oladipo soft or anything like that. I'm just saying, what does he buy himself if he does play through something when it comes to his contract negotiations, as opposed to he doesn't and they feel like it was a soreness thing and it wasn't a structural thing? I'm curious about that. How does that affect him? How does it affect him? Who do the Heat let walk, Duncan or none? If I had to guess, I would say none. Because I just think with Duncan, you could say what you want about Nunn or Duncan, who you want. Like Duncan's elite at what he does. I feel like with Kendrick Nunn, they feel like they're always going to feel like they can upgrade there. You know what I mean? Especially for his age and where he's at. I feel like they're always going to look upon him as, hey, we'd rather go in another direction here, whether that's right or wrong. And honestly, I don't know what Nunn's going to command. Maybe he gets something like Derek Jones Jr. money, where he gets like a 2-year, $16 to $18 million deal. I would be surprised if somebody pays him big money. Tyler Hero has become like Kuzma. Both great rookie years, then became Hollywood. I mean, I think honestly with the Tyler Hero thing, I think it's more the fact that he's I think people have figured out some of his moves. The shooting hasn't been as good. And I think his body's just, I don't think his body is where it needs to be. And you give it a little bit of a pass this year. You got, because there was no off season to get things right. Still think he's got like a really tremendous bag of offensive talent. He's got some spots on the floor that he could score on that you really marvel at. He's got big old elephant balls. So I don't think it's a celebrity thing. I don't think it is. First of all, you guys act like he got the Instagram model over the offseason. He had her before she was in the bubble. She was in the bubble where he was bubble boy. Like it doesn't make sense. I don't understand why all of a sudden everybody's blaming because he's got I don't understand why. This is the thing. I don't understand why we look at these guys and we're like, you see what she's saying on Instagram? People did this with Duncan's girlfriend too. Where they're like, you see who Duncan Robinson? She loves Trump. I'm like, all right. And what? You think that's affecting his jump shot because it's political season? She's making him go out to rallies or something like that. Makes no sense. And then, Tyler here now all of a sudden he's Now all of a sudden he's bothered because of having a really, really good looking girlfriend. What? And I said, I remember talking about this with Udonis Haslam before the year. And, like you heard the story about like where UD said on the Up and Smoke podcast or All the Smoke podcast where he was talking about D Wade getting pursued by OJ Simpson's woman. Like, that's what, like, Tyler Hero, if it was real Miami right now, like he would probably be out every single night at Live or whatever the hot club is these days. I'm old. I don't know what they are. It would be worse. But now he's like locked up and wifed up. Like, that's it. That's not affecting his jump shot. The dumbest thing I've ever heard. Anyway. Who has more talent, Heat or Knicks? Heat. Although Julius Randle's been awesome. I'll give him props. Julius Randle's been awesome. He's had a great year. RJ Barrett looks good. I'd still take our two guys in a heartbeat over them. And quickly. But look, this is what Thibodeau's teams do. He's basically reincarnated the Bulls. He's gotten he's reincarnated the Chicago Bulls. They play extremely hard. They're on a roll right now. I'm curious to see what Julius Randle, like how he holds up in the playoffs. He's still young, so I think he'll be okay, but they're playing him a lot of minutes. But they're good for them. Let's see. He can't pick up Goran's option if he continues to show his age out there or be out resting. I don't think they're going to pick up his option either way. I think that he'll probably be on a new deal if he continues playing. I'm curious. I don't know. I think, Goran, I will say this. I think Goran is because the free agents aren't that great. Don't be surprised if Goran tries to go somewhere either. I don't think he will because he loves it in Miami, but I wouldn't be super shocked. 31 points for Randle. Let's see. Let's see. Is it wrong to say that Ben Askren had a more exciting career in the UFC than Mighty Mouse did? I would say I wouldn't use exciting as the word. I mean, Mighty Mouse had some really exciting fights, man. Maybe infamous is the word that you want to use. But he's going to go down as a guy who has two of the most embarrassing losses in combat sports history. I mean, he got knocked out faster than anybody has in the sport, and he got knocked out by a YouTuber. So, yeah. Gotta ask, what are the chances UD's number retires before you get -1? You tricked me with that question. Marco, is this live? It is live. Hello. Yeah, tell this guy to watch Mighty Mouse. Yeah, Mighty Mouse had some really exciting fight. I know that was the knock on him early, but like the second half of Mighty Mouse's UFC run, pretty effing exciting. Pretty effing exciting fights. Let's see. I'm more worried about teams in the playoffs like Malik, TJ Stockton. Yeah, I am too. I hate taking on those teams. I'm more worried about the play-in than I am taking on the Knicks. Are you in a hotel? Yes. Did your girl kick you out? No. My wife is no. My wife gave me. I did get the wifey pass to go to Jacksonville for UFC 261. I talked about this at the top of the chat, where once I found out Masvidal's title defense was going to be in Florida, I was like, I'm going. I want to go check it out, and I'm excited for tonight. So yeah, I'm in Jacksonville in a hotel, and I leave tomorrow. I'll be back. I'll head on back down tomorrow, and that's that. Do you think Bam is better guarding big men or scoring guards? I don't know. Tough to pick Bam out of the Bayou. It's pretty awesome at both of them. Rose winning tonight. I'm going to say no. No, I think she's going to lose something super close. Super close fight. I don't think she gets blown out, but I don't think she's going to win. Let's see. Any other chitty chats, or should I get the hell out of here, everybody? Sorry, man. Just how I feel. That's your main event? I think it's the best fight. I said this before, Maniac, in the chat. I don't know when you got in. I said I think it's going to be I think it's going to be the fight of the night. Do you think Bam can develop Ben Simmons at level of handle and ball control? Certainly something he's got to tighten up next year is the turnovers. Because he's definitely good. Listen, they've run a lot of offense through Bam, but he's definitely turned the ball over more this year with having the ball more. How sweet would it be if Kawhi joined the Heat? Pretty sweet. Does Kobe White have a career night tonight? That would seem like the trend. Anthony, can you see the Heat doing what they've done for former players with Dragic moving him from full-time bench player to part-time assistant coach? I don't think so, man. I feel like when Dragic retires, I feel like Dragic is going to go do stuff in Europe and be like, he's going to be like he's like the European Haslam in a lot of ways. Like, so many guys have respect for him. Even Bielitsa, when he came here, talked about, how happy he was that he was going to get to play with Dragic. And we know his connection with Luka. He was the first guy on the scene to talk about Luka. And so I don't know what Dragic is going to do. It's a good question. Made a lot of money in his career. Mason, it's getting to the point where I don't know whether to be excited or not for game days. I assume you're talking about Heat game days. I'm lukewarm on tonight for sure. I felt like that after the Jazz game where Jimmy was out and then Bam had a game winner. So it ended up being one of the best games of the year. But I get your point. It's getting frustrating. Let's see. Platinum, you guys doing a draft party like last year? Yes, we are doing it on the ticketmiami.com. It won't be on the Twitch stream. I guess we're going to do it. We're basically going to be doing a Zoom feed, and that'll be broadcast live. Feels like we should just do it on Twitch, to be honest with you. If I'm honest. Are you traveling to Cleveland for the draft? I'm not. Leroy thought about it. He was going to be maybe the Browns guest picker. But no, he's going to be in town. And another person asking, are you going to be live at the draft? We will be live for the draft. We'll be on the ticketmiami.com. It's not going to be on Twitch. I wish it would be on Twitch. We'll be on Twitch the next morning, obviously reacting to everything. So, yeah. Who's better guarding 1 through 5? Bam, Giannis, or Simmons? I'd say Bam. I think Bam's the best defender in the league. And I think Giannis's best skill set is rim protection, help defense, all that type of stuff, to come and get blocks and stuff like that. Just throwing him on the guard, like, he's not bad, but I don't think he's at those guys' level. All right. Any other questions? Let's see. Do you see the Dolphins getting Parsons or Smith at 18? Man, that would be a hell of a drop for both of those, man. If I had to guess, I would guess, because of the weight thing everybody's freaked out about, I would guess Smith is probably more likely than Parsons. I feel like Parsons is too talented that I think 18 is a stretch. All righty. I'm going to head out, guys. I got to start packing up the equipment to head over to the arena. Thank you for joining the chat. Love you guys. I am going to try, like I keep saying this when I do these, I do have a lot of fun chatting with you guys. I'm going to try and set up something regular so we could do this every week. And, you guys can hop in, come in with your questions and whatnot. I'll promote it on the show. And, we could do some kind of chat or super chat or whatever the hell they call it. But I want to do something like this on the reg for everybody. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. and enjoy all the action today between the Heat, the Marlins, the Pinks, the Panthers, UFC, Xander Zayas, all this stuff that we got going on today. It should be a fun one. Take care, everybody.